Welcome guys, Mel here from Mel's Motors. Right, we've got a long-term project going on now. Behind me, Citroen Relay, new van to us. We're going to convert this into a camper van. So there's lots to do. Like most of you out there who are interested in stuff like this, you'll watch video upon video of how to do stuff. I've watched endless videos. I've seen some good ones, some not so good ones, some questionable ones. So this is going to be a series. We're going to start with paintwork, interior design, insulation, the electrical system, the plumbing system, heating system, seat replacement, swivel plates, stereo system, wheels, whatever comes with doing camper van conversion is going to be in here. Now, when it comes to insulation is important, but there are so many videos on insulation. Everyone seems to have an idea of what's a good product, what isn't a good product, what's a good way of doing it, what's a bad way of doing it. And you take bits which are going to work for you. Not everybody has the same opinion. I've come to my own opinion of the way I'm going to do mine. I am going to use some of the people's ideas that I've seen on YouTube, but I'll make it suit me. Now, insulation I feel is quite important, but at the same token, there are companies out there who make camper vans who have a way of doing theirs, and I've watched quite a few of those videos. But the thing is, there's no one out there can absolutely tell me which is the best way, because once you put insulation in, panel those walls up, you're never ever going to strip it and go, see, I told you so, no damp in there, because no one ever does that. So like I said, insulation is important. Having some in there is better than having zero in there, but I don't personally feel that there is the best way to do it. But there are lots of good ways to do it. So I'll talk through the way I'll do it. I said this video is for entertainment. If it works for you, by all means follow my principle, but if not, then there's plenty of other videos you can watch. But looking at all the videos that I've watched on the heating and plumbing and bits and pieces like that, I've taken some good points away. I'm going to do things my way, which should be different to some of the other ways that you may have seen. But stick around, we'll go through these challenges together, and hopefully we'll both take something away from it. It's going to be a learning curve, so whatever I do, I'm not saying it's going to be the best way, but it might be the best way that suits my needs. So this is the van I wanted to show you. It's a 2011. I did a video on this van some time back where we did broken glow plugs. If you're interested in that, I'll leave a link below. But what I wanted to show you on here was not that, is this. The corrosion. Now you can see this is absolutely annihilated. So we've got a good meter of welding to do there, and if there's any insulation foam in this, that's just going to turn this van into a torch. It will just burn it to the ground. We've checked with the customer. As far as he knows, there's absolutely no insulating foam in this, just regular insulation. So this is in the seal, so it's quite low, so it should be away from anything inside the car. But some people will fill the panels up with foam. You'll get overspill. It could end up in these seals, and there's absolutely no way of getting it out. If you got any foam filler in your van, trust me, I won't be touching it. And if you get any damage, for example, outside on any of the paneling, and a body shop wants to use a spot welder to get those dents out, whatever, it will just burn inside, and you'll have an inferno. I did bodywork for over 20 years. Trust me, you've got that in there, I won't be touching it, and no other garage will touch a car filled with foam. It is just so dangerous. You can't get it out, you can't get it off, and once you've done that, you're done for, my friend. So this is the van. It's a Citroen Relay. L3H2, which means it's length 3 all the way to the end. So you can get L4, which has a really long bumper, so there's a really big overhang on there. But what that does is it makes the van heavier, so it makes it limited to what you can put in it, because the more bodywork you have, there's more weight in the vehicle, so that the carrying capacity becomes less. H2 is the height, so this is height H2. You can get an H3, which is even higher top, but realistically, how much headroom do you need? I mean, this is 2 meters headroom as it is. So it's a very clean van. I bought it from the guys next door, so we've got history with it. They were the original owners, now I'm the second owner. Panel wise, it's very clean. We have one minor dent here which I need to repair. On the boots there's a very tiny repair here. We'll see what we can do with that, but I'm not overly fussed with that one. But I will definitely repair the side one. The van is going to be painted back and sides up to this point, but we'll go more into that when we get to that. Plastic's going to be painted, bumpers are going to be painted, mirrors are going to be painted. We had a camper van in the other day, which was that the whole van was painted, including the door handles. I would like to paint the door handles, but if these handles don't strip, then you're gonna have to mask. Well, you're gonna have to mask it, but it's not gonna look good. So if I can't strip those and paint those, I won't bother. But I definitely want the mirrors painted. We've got some new mirrors. There's damage on this one. There's damage on the other one. I'm gonna paint the bonnet, not edge to edge. We have a beautiful crease line here. We had one camper in the other day where the centre was only painted. It looked really good. This feature is painted a light silver. That's going to stay. The bumper's going to be a different colour. I'll show you the colour when we get to that. I think it's locked. Yeah, I've got fresh interior to go in there for the front seats. These front seats have been a nightmare to find. The driver's seat, the second-hand one's £750. I've looked everywhere, and people know what they're worth because people convert these into campers. And whether you've got a driver's seat or a passenger seat, they'll convert the twin seat into a single seat. I scrapped one of these, and I had no idea what the front seat was worth. If I'd known they were worth £750, that would have been straight out. But at the time I scrapped it, we didn't need it, so you live and learn. I've got some new seats for this. They're not Citroen ones, but we'll go through it when we get down to doing seat conversion, and we'll talk more about it. But as I go through the processes, I'll fill in the gaps. But as of right now, I can't do anything with this. I can't change windows or any of that until the bodywork's done. And the reason I want to do the bodywork first is because I'm going to paint part of the van. I want to do the door shuts, and once you've got the interior in there, you can't paint. You'll have to mask the entire inside of the van out. And whilst the van is empty, we're going to start with paintwork. So I've got my laser level here. I'm trying to get the seam line there for where I want to mask. It's very difficult to see. It's a red laser there. If I take the laser over to it, you see it drops down from the seam line that I want, and the further I go down, here, the lower the light gets. Because there's no weight in the back suspension is up and the front's down, therefore we've got a crooked line. So I've got a trolley jack at the front here. I'm just going to jack up from the centre to try and get this line, and the reason I want a straight line because I want to see how far it comes to the front bumper, that seam line, because it disappears. So this seam line disappears from here, and I want to see if it goes to this part of the bumper or right in the corner of the headlight. So slightly jacked up, so we're quite low, so we need to take the laser up. You can just see it there. So I'm at the seam line there. I can see here we're high, here we're roughly on the line, and back here is really faint, so we're still dropping away. I just need to jack a bit more. have a look again. So we're on the seam line there. Looks like we're close there. And actually looks like we're close there. It's very difficult to see this line, hence why I want the laser, because it's such a long vehicle to mask. It's got 6 meters of masking to do. I want to try and get a very straight line. Now I'm going to be using edge tape because we're coming to an edge. We want to have a crisp line, but it'll be a double edge tape. One high, giving me about 3mm gap, and then one low. So once we put the base coat on, we'll take the lower one off, give us 3mm, and we can lacquer over that line so that we don't have a really hard edge. And when you end up jet washing, or washing your car, going car wash or whatever, you don't have that high edge where you could potentially peel off the paint with high water pressure. So it looks like we've got the right line now, and I just want to see where this line goes. So we can see it comes across the door here and goes right up to here. In a way, now that I know that, it's actually quite nice because we can go from that seam line and kind of drop down. So we kind of have a teardrop edge where it comes to the bumper corner. But I wasn't sure, because you can't really see where that line goes, because from here it looks like it might just go to the edge of the bumper, but we can clearly see it doesn't. So that's our potential line. I've had a quick look at this dent again. It's a lot of work for just a small dent. I'm going to see if I can push it out from the back. It's on white, so you can barely see it, and because we're going to be painting this corner all the way up, that's going to end up in the paint line. Plan now is take the rear lights off, bumper off, all these trims, and the corner trim here, these trims down here, our front bumper off, because I don't want a mask edge on here. I want it to be painted right to the edge of that wing. Saves me masking the front up. Not painting the bonnet today, because we're going to have this crisp line down and around. I took a picture of one of our customers' ones, which looked really good. I'll see if I can pop the picture up for you now to see. So that's the way I want that. Mirrors, I've got brand new ones, so we'll paint those at a later date. Door handles, still not sure about whether we'll paint those, but again, we can do that at a later date. My main concern is getting the sides done. Now, I was going to end up painting the door shuts, but I don't want to now. I've got special foam tape which will drop into the corner, so we'll have a reasonably clean edge. I'm going to take this fuel cap off because I want to paint behind it, and then we'll paint this separately over on the bench. These I'm not going to paint today. They need to be plastic primed, and then once they're done, because we're going to probably end up breaking all the clips coming off now anyway, so that they ain't going to go back on for a while. But I want paint behind there. I don't want any mask marks. I want a clean painted lower half of this vehicle. It's not going to matter so much opening up and seeing white shuts. For some of the campers I've seen, it's quite a common thing to see white shuts in there, but from the outside, like here, the paint will cover those areas. If you put it on dust coats, you can just start feathering the paint colour into those edges, and then end up painting it. There's no rust on this. There are a few marks just down here in this corner starting to creep out, so I'll sand that down and just address that before we put any more paint on this. But the rest of it's quite tidy. There's only one flake rust mark here. It's here. That's white. We can touch that up. These security locks, they're in the wrong place because there's going to be windows there. Once we've painted it, we're going to get these put lower down. I haven't done that now because I didn't want to mask around the lock and then paint the side. I'd rather paint the side and then have the locks put on top of the paint as opposed to around the paint. Okay, first things first, I'm going to start taking all these side plastics off, and and then start with a bumper off and rear bumper off. The mirrors will stay on, they fold, so we can mask around that for now, and then just get this side and back painted. So I'm using this software called Van Space. This is the depiction of what I'm looking for in my van. The great thing with this software is you pick the van that you're working with. So this is our Citroen Relay. It's got the correct size, which is L3H2, which is length 3, height 2. The wonderful thing with this is because it's a multinational software, is we can convert this to right-hand drive, which we have done here. I've converted it to 2 front seats. We can see what the inside may look like. Just let me just save a bit. And we know where we're going to put bits and pieces. Now these pictures and stuff that we have here are generic. There's a little gallery on the side here and furniture. We can pick the stuff that we want. So we can get somewhere close. I was going to have a fixed bed in the back, but we decided against that because it's nice to have a seating area. I am designing this van to be compliant in the UK, so I can get it changed on a logbook to a camper van. There are certain criteria set up by the DVLA, and I'm trying to meet that so that we can have this registered as a camper van. For example, the shower tray we have here, this is a full-size shower tray that you'd find in a home. It's 1 meter by 700, and for example, if I was to click on that, up in the top corner here we can see what our measurements are. It's 70 wide, it's just slightly off scale at 116, but we can adjust that to make it work. But this is just a rough guide to what we want to do. So I am going to have the power supply in the back left corner here. There's pictures of batteries here, but the batteries aren't going to be there. We've got this really good ground clearance on these vans. I'm going to build a box in the bottom of the vehicle, drop the batteries into the floor so they'll be out the way. Tanks in the back, again we're going to have a little drop down in the back, spare wheels coming out, it's going to go on the back door, and then the water tanks will be dropped into here. Let's just get rid of this window so we can see the kitchen. So hoping to have another seating area here as you step in. You may have noticed that the kitchen's quite a way over to where the sliding door is. Most camper vans are like that because you don't need the opening that big. It's just yourself getting in and out. At the back here, I want to have a hatch that comes out so that if you want to put our mountain bikes in, we can take this hatch out, put bikes in when we go somewhere. We had a camper van in the other day and the fridge was on the end here, so it opened it into the cab as opposed to the hallway. It looked good. In this picture I've got it here under the cooker. It doesn't mean it's going to be there, but it just gives us an idea of what things might look like. If I just close this one down, this is like the complete version of what I'm looking for. So this one here with the solar panels on the top, windows in, awning on. As part of the criteria from what I've been reading to get this into a camper van is we have to have 2 windows minimum on one full side of the van. So this side's only going to have 1 window. There's a TV here, so we can't have a window there, and I didn't want another window here, so we've got 1 for the shower room. If I add the panels on, you can see what the full van may look like. So it gives us an idea. Now our handle is on the other side and this is on this side because it's a right-hand drive car, but this is a generic picture. So this is what it looked like. So we are going to have a fan up here and the solar panels there and an awning. So hope you like it. Let's see if we get somewhere close to it. Okay, trims are off. You can see half the clips are still left behind. If you look at these, you'll see, oh, it's difficult to see, but you see some of the clips going this way, some go that way. So once you've broken off half of them, you can slide the piece of trim off one way. Same again, half broken, the other half slid off. Again, half broken, the other side slid off, and same here as well. So the clips have been put in 50-50 one way and the other, but if you get half of them off, then the rest is quite easy to get off. You can see how dirty it is behind there, so that's going to need to be cleaned before we attempt to do anything. These are side marker holes for the side marker bulbs to go in. We've got very similar stuff for the inside, so we're going to probably cover these back up before we put these back together. There you go. Yeah, so these are for side markers because they use the same chassis for the longer wheelbase one of these. This is L3. They do an L4 version which has to have side markers, so hence why they're there. Okay, next thing, bumper off. I've got the bonnet up. We have a few screws here. We've also got the jack on there still, so whilst the jack is holding the front up, we can gain access to some of the screws at the bottom. We'll get that off. We'll take the headlights out as well. They're just held in with two screws, so they're reasonably easy to remove. Okay, bumpers off. I couldn't remember how that top trim came off. It was clipped in, but it was really tight, so got Luke to give me a quick hand to get that off. Hidden screws under there. There was a hidden screw right in these corners. It's been a while since I've taken these out, so I couldn't remember. As I said, with most of the jobs we do, it's unnecessary to take these fronts off. I'm just taking an engine out. So anyway, the front bumper's off. The reason I wanted it off is so I could paint right into this edge. I didn't want to mask it and then have potential blowout corners. So if you finish right here and you end up jet washing it in the future, you'll end up with edges that might blow out. So I wanted it right behind the bumper. So now we're going to go to the back, take the back bumper off, and then the corner strips as well. So there's a few things here to remove. Obviously the bumper, the trims on the back, the trim on the back door. Door handle will have to come out. I'm not going to take it off right now because we're moving this in and out. It's very unlikely I'll get a chance to paint this today. I've still got this dent to repair, so I might get that done up to today and primed, and then whenever I get a chance I'll do the rest of it. Backlight's going to come out, and then we've got this side trim and back trim. Well, this is as far as we've got today. Front bumper off, grill off, trims off, all the way back, side panels off, corners off, rear bumper off, rear trims off, number plate off, light off. This will need to come off, badges will need to come off. Most of these clips will need to, actually all the clips will need to come off. We need to reseal these holes. And then we'll have to wash the van before we do anything else. Looks like we're going to have to take the door handles off so we can get a good mask line. On the other side, two more door handles, so these two will have to come off because we're not going to get a decent masking line on there, so that's going to be an issue. So they'll have to come off as well. Again, block off this and the rear side repeater holes as well properly, because these look like they're like roofing felt, that kind of material. I think they've used that to try and keep some of the noise out of these big holes. Anyway, I've got some of these, so we'll do that, and then after washing it, then mask and hopefully paint the van.